Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Make a Game. This is Snackrificial Chamber, episode 8, and today I'll be adding player controls. First things first, I need to create a player controller script. The core piece of logic within this script relies on a mouse click and a raycast. When the player clicks the mouse, I need to perform a raycast from the two-dimensional screen into the three-dimensional world and return the clicked object. For now, I'll print the tag of that object to the console. I place this new script within the scene so it runs when I play the game. Now when I click on a tile, its tag is displayed in the corner of the screen. Next, I'm going to create a new layer called Clickable and apply it to the floor tile prefab. I'm also going to apply a layer mask to the raycast so it ignores any existing track pieces. The reason for this is largely due to the angle of the camera. With the game objects I have now, this raycast generally performs as expected. However, once I add obstacles, there might be entire tiles that I would be unable to click. By adding the layer mask, the raycast will go through these objects and hit the floor tile behind it. As you can see now, only the floor tag is being displayed. From the clicked tile, I'm going to perform another raycast, this time to figure out if there's an object on top of that floor tile. If it finds a track piece, I'm going to keep a reference to that piece and highlight it to show the player that it's selected. Now I need to create the object that I'm going to use as a highlighter. I'll simply create a cube, place it within the scene, and set the highlighter reference within the script. When I click on a tile that contains a track piece, the highlighter is placed over that tile, and when I click a tile without the track piece, the highlighter is hidden. However, I won't be able to see the selected track piece, so I'm going to apply a slightly transparent green material to the box. There we go, a highlighter we can see through. The next thing that needs to be added is belt placement. When I click an empty tile, I want to be able to place a new conveyor belt. First, I'll set the selected prefab reference from earlier to the conveyor belt prefab. Then, I'll add logic to place a track and move the highlight logic to a reusable method. As you can see, clicking an existing tile will simply select it, while clicking an empty floor tile will place a new track and select that instead. But you can also see that the new track doesn't connect to the other tracks when placed. Within the track connect script, I'll add a new method that I'll use to update the tracks adjacent to the one that has recently been updated. Any tracks that exist at an output position will be updated. And now we have connecting tracks. Finally, I can add track rotation. For now, that will happen on a right click. Right-clicking an existing track will highlight it and rotate it 90 degrees. Once again, adjacent tracks aren't being connected properly. First, I'll start by updating the rotated track. Second, I'll update the tracks at the new outgoing position. As you can see, this leaves some unwanted connections. To solve that, I'll get the outgoing positions before rotation, then rotate the track. Next, I'll override the update outgoing method to allow a list of outgoing positions. I can use this to update the old connections, then the new connections. Placing and rotating tracks is now complete. I'm now able to alter the path of the chickens, and I'll be able to solve some unfinished levels. In the next episode, I'll separate the solve and play states so tracks cannot be placed while chickens are moving. You can subscribe by clicking the icon on the left, or you can check out any of my other videos on the right. If you have suggestions for what I should do after this series, you can reach out to me on Twitter. Thanks for watching!